Today, we'll take a deep dive into the bottom bracket. I'll show you how to remove, service, and install one. This is the frame set we'll be working with in this series. This is where the bottom bracket is located. It has an internally threaded shell where the bottom bracket will be installed. The drive side or right side is reverse threaded. That's where the threads loosen turning clockwise and tighten counterclockwise. The non-drive side or left side has normal threading. That's lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Here are the typical bottom bracket types I see on the bicycles I work with on this channel. This one's a loose ball bearing bottom bracket. In contrast to the loose ball bearing bottom bracket, this is a sealed cartridge bottom bracket. It consists of the cartridge itself, which contains the spindle and the ball bearings all sealed in this nice package, and a cup for the opposite side. Each bottom bracket does the same thing. It allows the cranks to spin freely. For our project, I'll be installing the loose ball bearing bottom bracket. And as a demonstration, I will first show you how to remove the cartridge bottom bracket. For this, I'll use the Park Tool BBT32. This is made to fit into the splines on the bottom bracket cups shown here. We'll start on the non-drive side or the left-hand side of the bicycle. These cups can be stubborn to remove. If you encounter this, penetrating oil can be your friend. You can apply penetrating oil on the outside of the cups, down the seat post tube, or in the bottle cage holes. Be liberal with its use and give it a few days to work. As you can see, it may be difficult to keep this tool seated during use. To help with this, I use one of the crank arm bolts and some washers to help hold the tool in place. Remember not to tighten the washers all the way down. You'll need some play in order to allow the cups to rotate freely during removal. Now it's time to remove the cup. The non-drive side cup will rotate left or counterclockwise to be removed. It may be necessary to use a breaker bar or a similar tool to give you more leverage. This process can be repeated on the drive side, but remember, the drive side has reverse threading. To remove, rotate it clockwise or right. Remember, you can use the same tip with the crank arm bolts and washers to secure the tool and a breaker bar for more leverage. Now that the bottom bracket has been removed, it can be serviced and cleaned as needed. The cartridge bottom bracket, if in good working order, will only need to be cleaned. A loose ball bearing bottom bracket will require more work. To service a loose ball bearing bottom bracket, I first remove any loose grease with an old microfiber cloth. I next soak the parts in degreaser, then finally run them through the ultrasonic cleaner with warm soapy water or cleaning solution and give them a rinse. And with that, they're ready for installation. Now that we're at the midpoint of the video, I want to thank you for watching. If you're enjoying this video, please consider hitting that like button. Also, I would like to thank everyone who has recently subscribed to my channel. I'm approaching 1,000 subscribers, and everyone who subscribes gets me one step closer to this goal. Thank you. Now let's continue with the build, and I will demonstrate how to install the loose ball bearing bottom bracket. The first step for installing the bottom bracket is to make sure the threads are clean and clear of any debris. I typically use a general degreaser, an old toothbrush, and a clean microfiber cloth to take care of this job. The second step is to lubricate the threads with grease. I use Park Tool Polylube. This helps the cups thread in easily and helps prevent the cups from seizing to the frame so they can be more easily removed during maintenance in the future. The next step is to install the dry side cup, but first we need to pack the bearings with grease and lubricate the inside of the cup. Once fully packed in grease, the bearings will stick in the cups without falling out. And remember to orient the bearing cage the correct direction. Next, we'll install the cup. To do this, we'll use the Park Tool BBT32. Please note, other loose ball bearing bottom brackets may use different tools. Consult a resource like the Park Tool website for more information on the correct tools for your bottom bracket. The drive side or right side of the bike has reverse threading and will turn the cup left or counterclockwise to install it. Remember, if you feel any resistance, stop and make sure you are not cross-threading it during installation. Screw this cup in as far as it will go and make sure it is snugged up. Now we can move on to the non-drive side. But first we must install the spindle. The end with the longer square taper end belongs to the drive side. After packing the bearings with grease, you can start threading in the non-drive side cup. This one has normal threading and will install turning it to the right or clockwise. Again, remember, if you feel any resistance, stop and make sure you're not cross-threading it during installation. Snug this cup down until you start to feel some resistance. Check that the spindle has little or no play in it and spins freely. Adjust the cup accordingly. Once you're happy with the tension, you can screw on the lock ring. To do this, use the Park Tool BBT32 to hold the cup in place while you use a notch spanner to tighten the lock ring. With that, the bottom bracket is installed. In the next set of videos, we'll take a deep dive into the crank arms, chain rings, and pedals. Thanks for watching, and hit that like button if you enjoyed the content, and hit that subscribe button for more bicycle restoration content. Click on one of these videos for more bicycle restoration content.